What's up, everybody? GR Zerza here, and today I am doing a mixed live stream along with a YouTube upload because I found some interesting leaks for KOF 15, and I'm joined here by my buddy Proxy. Say hello.
Hey.
So he started playing KOF 14 very recently, about a month ago, and we've been playing. He's been learning, and would you say you're enjoying the game? Like, what do you like about it? What do you not like about it?
Yeah, I think this game is tight for the sheer fact that you have the option to play multiple characters. So whether that be all the same and kind of your muscle memory stays the same, or you could play kind of like how I do, where I have more or less 3 different archetypes, right? So like my point would be someone that's trying to zone you out, kind of turtle, build a lot of meter, and kind of just convert off of stray hits.
And
Whereas
you play pillow as your point.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Yep, and then for like a mid, right, I have someone that can kind of mix you. Game plan is to get you into the corner, which is Hein, and he has some left-right stuff, which I think is pretty dope. And then for my anchor is Iori, which you actually got me on, due to the fact that he kind of teaches you how to play KOF in general, right? But as an anchor with meter, he can also just kill you.
Yeah, he's a very good anchor. Let me put this on for you. There you go. So yeah, that's kind of generally what drew me to the game too. Is like, it felt like the team building aspect of it was really different from most other games, and I'm not a big fan of the tag games. So yeah, that kind of drew me into this. But there's some things that I'm noticing this game does that I like better than the older games. Like 13 is one of the best looking games, and it's super fun and super hyped to watch at a high level. But the execution on it is like extremely unforgiving in certain ways.
It's very hard.
Yeah, and it's hard for new players to get into. Where this game was a little bit easier, or a little more lenient, I'll say. And so, yeah, like as far as 15 goes, I'm not gonna spend all day like going over the leak and what the characters are. But the thing is, there's been 2 sources of leaks, and I'm on programguides.com, and that's where I'm seeing this first one. And I was speaking with somebody, a high-level player. He saw a similar leak from a different source that had different characters in the leak, but the mechanics were all identical, like almost down to the wording, like the exact wording. So that's kind of what I want to focus on. So I'll just kind of pull this screen up here. So format is standard 3v3. There's not going to be any kind of like strikers assist or tag. So they're going to keep it the way it's been the last several years, which I'm a fan of. I wouldn't have been pissed if they introduced tag again or something like that, but and again, this is just hypothetical. And yeah, so like the main thing I want to talk about, and I'll just kind of like read it to you as a new player, Proxy, and you just tell me what your mind goes to, and keep in mind, people, he's not a new fighting game player. He's a new KOF player. So there's a big difference there. So I just wanted to point that out. First thing that they're changing, the bar is split in half. So what does your mind go to when you hear that? The bar, like the max meter at the bottom there.
My guess is, and kind of where mine drifts first, is like obviously you max mode, right? That's a full bar, and you have this set amount of time where you can do the things that you want to do. Maybe that half bar is max mode is now a half bar instead of a whole one. That's kind of something that my mind went to first.
Okay.
Because like, let's say that you have your point character, right? You can only build 3 meters. If you max mode, you're only going into your next character if you do kill with that with only 2 meters.
If you built 3.
If you built 3,
Yeah.
right. So let's say you build like you're relying on building a bar to max mode combo if you really want to get their point character out with yours. Maybe that's a way to kind of conserve a little bit of meter.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, that's all hypothetical, and that was kind of my first impression on it.
Okay. So let me give you the next piece of info and tell me how that changes things for you. EX moves take half a bar.
Oh.
So what does that
Okay.
tell you? Because in this game, you very well know I can't do an EX move
Without being in max mode.
without being in max mode.
So maybe that's a way to do EX moves without max mode?
Yeah, so I think they're going back to 13 where they let you do EX moves. That's my thought. If it says half
That's
a bar.
interesting. Yeah.
But the bar being split in half makes me think, well, okay, which half is the EX using? And is it going to be like 13 where one half of the bar uses EX and the other half is like special canceling? You know, like to do like a special move into a super. That would take one of the full bars on the left bar and then one of the full half bars on the right bar or something like that to be able to do the cancel. I don't know, that's what my mind is thinking. It's going to be kind of like 13 in that sense. I don't know. Does that kind of lead you in another direction, or?
I'm not so sure. Like I said, this has been the only KOF I've ever invested time into.
Right.
But it seems like the way fighting games is a direction these days is kind of taking is accessibility, and I feel like your mental stack, right? That's a lot to focus on top of just general meter management.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, that's still an interesting concept, right? Being able to do EX moves outside of max mode.
Right. To me, it opens things up a bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like, I don't want to be using a full bar, but I could extend this if I do EX Tatsu right here, and then I just kind of juggle the rest, you know, with like regular special moves. And then then if I build, while I'm doing those special moves, if I happen to build another half bar, I can do one more EX move. So yeah, to me that feels like it's gonna open things up a bit.
Yeah.
So let's talk about max mode, or at least what I think is max mode. It says there's 2 ways to activate. There's neutral and dash. One's called max advance. So what it's saying is you hit forward plus B and C to do the dash. So that instead of just doing this and hitting max mode and they auto run, I think you're gonna have to hit forward when you do it. And then
whereas like
if you do it in neutral, so this is what happens. If you do it in neutral, you blink red, you get a power buff, and it disables scaling on all your combos.
Oh wow.
And you can super cancel from anything. And it ends when you activate your super, or when the timer runs out.
Huh.
So what's the difference between that and if you do it in auto dash is what they're calling it, or a max advance? So like a max cancel like we're used to.
Yeah.
You'll blink yellow instead of red. You'll get no buffs. Your combos scale a lot, but it enables, this is the most exciting part to me, but it enables free canceling, like in 13 HD mode.
Oh.
But no level 1 supers. Any attempt to do a super will be an automatic level 2 and end the activation.
That's interesting.
I'm going to guess, now the whole like only no level 1s, I'm going to guess there's going to be some level 1s that when you use them correctly in combos, they don't end your turn or they don't end the combo. So I think what they're trying to do is say you can't be in this max mode, do a level 1, and then like keep comboing. Like it's gonna automatically make you do the ender, which is a level 2.
Okay.
That's my thought. So all that info, what do you think of all that?
I think if that is the case, I could see myself using like the max advance combos a lot more than I would just, like doing this raw,
Raw,
no
yeah.
scaling, because yeah, that's big damage, but like you said, right? So like that's not to say that your turn is going to be kept after you do your super with no scaling or combo into super with no scaling. I mean, I'm sure it will exist, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the corner carry, the combos themselves, the Oki that would come afterwards is a lot more rewarding in the case of like doing this into forward advance. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like that's just far D into max cancel, and I just moved you 2 squares towards the corner. We went from close to the corner over here to mid screen, and
Right.
that's just one hit.
Right.
So, and like the characters that I play definitely benefit from just having you in the corner and playing my game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it might be character dependent in that scenario, but
Yeah. So like one thing that I think of when I'm reading this
the
is
first option.
one thing that I'm thinking about here is that you even said it. You think you're going to be doing the yellow where you're canceling off like a confirm, right?
Yeah.
Which is basically what you do in this game.
Hmm.
I don't know. There's a few characters who I see high level players do like a raw activation so that they have like extra access to like their EX moves and stuff and they can kind of control. Like they're better off already being in max mode, but it's very few and far between that you'll ever see it. Most
Right.
everybody is just doing like combos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sorry, my connection is really weird right now. Probably because I'm doing 2 different streams. But
But take that as an example right there, right? Like we were just mid screen, and for 1 bar you got me in the corner, got some decent damage, and then some Oki afterwards.
right,
So if it's anything like this game, I could see that being a lot more beneficial than this opening up some combos that you didn't have or moves that you didn't have. Again, depends on the character, but for
right.
the most part, a lot more beneficial than already being in a max mode.
Hmm. And so my thought is that with 15, they want to promote you using it raw. So
Yeah.
they're gonna say, you know what, you're gonna get a damage bonus, and if you do get to hit a combo, you're gonna get more damage off it because there's no scaling. However, you know as well as I do, in this game, you can get what you even called it. Oh shoot, I'm stuck in max mode. So like,
Yeah.
if you're already here, I can't. Like a lot of characters, they can't do anything from a low, right? Or they're very limited. Like he can actually do a low into his Tatsu, but the combo's gonna be. I feel like if you do this, this combo's potential will be smaller. One, your openers are different, right? Like typically you're gonna need something like a big button, and also you can't do. So I'm gonna read it again. Auto dash blinks yellow, gives no buffs, combo scales a lot, but enables free canceling. So let's think about that. That's like some 13 shit. So I could do, once I get you in the air, right? I could do fireball, DP. Like, fireball, DP. And then I could DP again. And then I could, or I could do like a light DP into like a dive kick. And I could keep that going. Because I could do fireball, cancel into DP. You can't do that in this game.
Right.
Like all I can do is DP and then like super cancel. But imagine if I could do fireball, DP cancel, like I'd be able to juggle. So not having that ability when you go raw max means the combos are gonna be a lot shorter.
A lot shorter, potentially bigger damage depending
Yeah.
on that
Yes.
scaling.
So it's gonna be probably like, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 7 hits that of like juggles, and then you're gonna like do a super, and that super is gonna be unscaled.
Yeah.
So that's
It
like,
seems super situational though, right? Because
yeah,
like you don't want to just do that at the beginning of the match, do like half a bar's worth of damage, but then like you get nothing afterwards, right? They get their turn back and they can just as easily, if they open you up, do the same exact thing, if not more,
hmm,
and carry you into the corner and, get you to guess.
right,
So I don't know. I think maybe like if it came down to a kill situation and you had meter to spare, sure. But like I said, I don't know. I don't really see it being of use outside of situational based scenarios.
yeah. And keep in mind, we have 2 meters now. So
So
like,
maybe they're different. Maybe they're separate.
maybe doing, yeah, we'll use from the right meter or the top meter, whatever it is. And also, EX moves only take half a bar.
Yeah.
So we might have access to more meters. So sometimes, like, let's say we're in this situation, right, where you're like right here, and I hit you with like this big ass, right, and then while you're there, I max mode because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna kill this fucker, like right here.
Yeah.
Like I have the frames to do it. I'm gonna be in max mode, and then he has to guess, right? Then I can overhead low, whatever, or hit him with another blowback, and then yeah, start all the craziness. So that's something that I was kind of thinking of. Yeah, we can keep it moving here. Okay, so the next part says ground blowback still sends opponent to wall stick on hit. So this was
Okay.
this was something that people were complaining about. Actually, I was watching, I think it was Rome himself. That right there, the wall stick, and how like a lot of people can keep comboing from the
Or
wall,
restand
or do a restand. Yeah, like
Yeah.
some people were saying that it's a bit too good, so it sounds like they're gonna keep it in the game because either they really like it or they figure that with the new mechanics and the double bars and all that it's not gonna be too good, I guess. So that's just something. That's one of the smaller things. So here's the biggest the biggest thing, and this is like the main reason when I read this I was like, oh, we gotta make a video. Okay. So blowbacks in this game, for those of you who don't know, you hit both heavies. Yep, he's doing it. That's his. This one's mine. This is normal blowback, right? And you can do it in the air too. And what happens when you hit him? Like, you get a hard knockdown or a wall splat, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's blowback. Now it's saying if you do quarter circle forward, then blowback, it does a guard crush attack for half of your bar.
Ooh.
So hold down back for me. Okay, so he's here, right? See that guard meter, that blue guard meter that's going down? Let's just say his defense is impeccable. I can't mix this dude, right? And I get him here. I can do this, and then I can do quarter circle forward into blowback, and that would give me an automatic guard crush for 1/2 bar. Your character momentarily blinks with a special effect when it's used so your opponent can see it. It has auto guard properties. And there's more. Can be canceled into for half guard damage on block.
Oh wow.
So let's say I hold down back. Let's say I get you and you're blocking, and I get you here. I can cancel into blowback and guard crush you for half a bar. And it will do...
Man, that seems very strong.
Yes. Yeah.
Seems very, very strong.
Okay, here's the rest, okay? Causes crumple on hit, and you cannot whiff cancel it like a regular blowback. Okay, so like...
Can't car cancel.
Yeah, I can't do that, right? I can't spend a meter with the guard crush and then like cancel into it, you know. or can't cancel out of it on whiff, like you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah. So what? First thing you said was that seems really good. So what's going
It
through your brain?
seems super cheap. It seems so cheap. Uh, so like I have a personal example I can give, right? So like my Maiden Kun, very basic, kind of plays the zone you out game in the air, anti-air, right?
Yeah.
So in that scenario, often find myself blocking a string until I see a frame trap, I'll DP, right? Or like I'll be blocking in the corner and I'll just wait for the moment where I can like guard, cancel, roll out of the corner.
Uh-huh.
So let's say in that scenario where that mechanic is introduced, I block 4 hits and I get guard crush out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're trying to go in the direction of really aggressive play, like take Street Fighter 5 for example.
Yeah, it's very offensive.
Very offensive, not a ton of defensive options,
Right.
and it's like a constant in the corner or your opponent has you in the corner. And I'm not sure if that's necessarily something that I'm really about. I kind of pride myself on my defensive play style, like a defend and punish kind of game.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we're not really gonna know until the time comes and we really get our hands on that.
So the few things you mentioned, and this might change your mind or it might make you not think it's quite as strong. You like defensive options. Well, for those of you who don't know, King of Fighters has some of the best defensive options that I've seen, and that is guard canceling.
Yeah.
You can roll and you can blow back. So it makes it sound like there's some points of armor with this new quarter circle forward blowback, right?
Right.
So my question is, what happens if you guard blowback cancel and they're doing this new guard crush blowback? Do you like Dragon Ball Fighters Cha-Ching Clash? Or do you both hit each other? Or because
Does it cancel out?
because when you guard cancel blowback, you're invincible.
Right.
And if the other guy has armor, like, yeah, do they just cancel out? Or so my thought right off the bat is that guard cancel roll, like, yeah, I'm gonna go for that setup and do the guard crush or whatever. But like, if you're ready for it and you guard cancel roll, you probably get like a free punish on it.
Well, you also mentioned armor, right? So typically, armored moves tend to be on the slower side if they're not like EX or etc. etc.
Right.
Let's take Zangief's, right? What is that? Forward fierce or stand fierce? That big beefy button
Mm-hmm.
has what is it? 1 hit of armor on it or 2? I think it's 1. But it's pretty slow, right? You can react to that. You can kind of, if your character has good walk speed, walk out, walk in with punish.
Right.
You also have, like, if that is an armored move and it is slow, do they have invincible backdashes? Can you backdash it?
Right.
So as long as those options exist for counterplay, I don't see it being much of an option. However, if it is kind of like a aggression-based direction that they're taking and it's just that good, that's when I'm like, I don't know if that's really something for me.
Okay.
But in this game, right? So I can, especially as Hein, he has a great backdash. Iori has a great backdash. There's been multiple times when we've been playing games and you're going for like stagger into button and you're trying to get a conversion, I'll backdash it.
Yeah.
And then I'll whiff punish.
Yep.
So like options like that, as long as they exist, I don't see it being too big of an issue. But again, like as long as it's not geared entirely towards aggression and you have options and you don't take away creativity from the player in order to like express themselves in a fighting game, I really don't mind.
Okay. See, to me, this game, the neutral's a lot different. You know, you're talking about backdashing. Well, I mean, we have hops. You know, we have all these like great air-to-air buttons, and a lot of the game is played that way until you get in the corner. I think the corner is when this guard break mechanic would be really strong. And keep in mind, everybody, this is hypothetical. Like, this is just a leak. Who knows if it's true? But I thought it was interesting enough to talk about because these are mechanics I've never seen. Like all these mechanics together, I've never seen in a fighting game. So it's kind of exciting to me. That and the fact that I'm like really looking forward to 15 because I really wanted to play it. So yeah, I think also keep in mind too, defensively. So if we have 2 bars, one of them might be used for defensive stuff. So you might be able to be on offense, using your cancels, juggle. Then they get you in the corner, and you're not out of meter. You have the second meter, which now
Right.
you get to guard roll and then put them back in the corner. You know what I mean? So like that might be like why they're thinking a guard crush mechanic is okay, because everyone's gonna have defensive bar most of the game. If they,
Yeah.
as long as they're not using it, nilly willy. So yeah, that's just another thing I was thinking of. And that's okay. So some of the other things that they're listing here, graphics will obviously be better than 14, which isn't that hard to do. And they're saying it's slightly better looking than Sam's show already. So that's kind of
Okay.
interesting. To me, if it looks as good as Sam's show, even if it's a different style of art, because Sam's show has got its own flavor, obviously.
Yeah, it's unique. I think it looks good though.
Yeah, it looks great. So they're saying that some of the models from 14, this game, and animations are reused, but tweaked. So I'm gonna guess like, say Robert, right? When he's moving, his pants aren't moving at all.
Right.
So they could use this model, but maybe give a little bit of like drapage on his pant leg that kind of moves a little. Obviously you can make this look better. But still, like, if he does, sorry, I'm not on my screen. If he does this kick, I'm fine with that. Like, that's a good animation, right?
Yeah.
It's got good what do you call that? The wind up, and then into the impact, and then the recovery. Like, it's nice and fluid. Like, I'm fine with that. But like, what I would like to see is when he brings his leg back down, his pants move a little. Because like, holy hell. I mean, I know they're tight, but some characters, like even Iori, like he's got the coat and that's it. But I don't know.
His hair kind of does it in
Yeah.
a weird way.
Yeah, a little bit. The hair is pretty bad in this game.
Yeah.
So, the next thing they're saying is that teammates will be in the background and will react to things in the game, but they do not jump in to save you or help you combo. So
it's not tag based.
So
which
yeah,
is fair.
it'll just
King
be
fighters.
like the characters are there because they're actually there and they're not like in some no man's land. Mid boss is Adelheid. Final boss is Crazy Omega Rugal, like KOF 95. So if Rugal's in the game, I'm guessing he's gonna be a playable character, which is really cool because he hasn't been in a KOF game in a long time, I feel like. Let's see here. And then there's a couple of things that are story based that I'm not really. Oh, they're gonna have special intros, which is cool. That's something I've seen people make videos about Street Fighter where they miss when, like, if it's Ryu versus Ken, they say stuff to each other and then fist bump before they they have like a little intro, so that it makes the characters a little bit more immersive, like the game in general. So that's kind of cool. And then let's see here. What else was there? Oh, they are going to be using new models for Kyo. And then obviously some of the other characters too. So not everything will be like recycled. Everything will be updated at very least is what it's saying. So whether or not that's true, I don't know. They might be building the game from the ground up. Who knows?
Reused assets in general too, I think, kind of get a bad rap. As long as those assets are updated, right?
Yeah.
You're saving yourself a lot of time. But if they're updated and they're updated well, I don't see it as an issue.
Right.
If anything, I think it would save on development time. But
right. Because how many times have we seen Iori do that slide? I mean, it
yeah,
it looks you know what I mean. So it's like how do you really update that other than the character model update. Like you could reuse the animation, but you know, maybe make his coat look a little more realistic and not like plastered to his sides. You know,
Right.
stuff like that. Um, and then yeah, there's a bunch of stuff about stories, and then there's the team list, which they're putting. For me, the biggest thing that stood out is Team Mysterious. Elizabeth, she's in 13. Kukri and Ash. Ash is also in 13. Kind of like a boss character. That team looks really interesting. And what was the other like interesting? Oh yeah, they like moved some characters around. Like Hydern, Whip, and Angel are together. Like Angel is definitely not on Hydern's team in this game, so that was a little different. But yeah, so overall, the thing that most excites me is doing 13 like combos with the free canceling.
Yeah, I think that would be super interesting and kind of open up a lot of opportunities where, let's say you don't get a lot of damage, but if you end the combo here, you get Oki. If you end the combo here, you get a left-right mix-up, you know?
Yeah,
Like, it could be...
and that
I feel like
provides
it could be pretty creative.
that. Yeah, I was gonna say that provides a whole like empty canvas of creativity, and like if you think you can spend a lot of hours in a lab in this game, imagine if all of a sudden, like let's just say this game they had a patch and now you could free cancel. Now it's
Right.
like, oh hell, what can I do now? Like let's see how many hits I can do. Like what's the most damage I can do? And now
Every character gets, 3+ updated routes that they can do if they really want to,
right.
potentially.
Oh yeah, it's the possibilities are almost endless. I mean, in KOF 13, there's like certain starters and there's only certain things you can do off certain hits. But then once you get to a point, it's like okay, now do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's why I like Uni a lot.
yeah, it's that game's pretty freeform too with its combos. So yeah, the only thing I would say is if they're gonna do that, I hope they make it a little less extreme on how accurate you have to be with the buttons and the timing, and because like I'll play 13, a character that I have down combos and I hit 1,000 times and I'll still drop it. Like it's just that hard. And you'll watch top 8 of Evo and they'll drop stuff. So yeah. So yeah, overall thoughts, Gage. You thought you're not a fan of the quarter circle forward blowback guard crush.
If I shouldn't say I'm not a fan of it. As long as the defensive options exist for counterplay, I'm all for it, right? You have another option that's introduced into the game, another mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
But with a lot of fighting games these days, I feel like they're going for a more streamlined gameplay target that kind of gears towards like straight aggression. Like Street Fighter is a fine example of that. Like DBZF is very much aggression based, and there is defensive options in that game, but
Not when you're in block stun though. That's the big
Yeah.
difference. And I'll point that out. Like yes, DBZ has reflect, and you've got your you can use a meter to call out another dude or whatever. But like you can be stuck in block stun for an eternity in that game, and
wow.
yeah, it's crazy. So like to me, if KOF, if you have some sort of meter and it's always available to you, and it's your choice to use it, I feel like the offense can be turned up a bit and it's still fine.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. It's fine. I mean, like even in this game, right? I enjoy that I can go from turtling to you get to my mid character and I'm trying to play my game, rush you down, and get you in the corner.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I have those options is nice, but I don't want to play a team that's every character, right? Like let's say that mechanic was that good or the game was geared towards that direction. I don't want my whole team oriented around just doing the same
You
thing.
don't want to only play rush down. You want to be able to
Right.
zone or play defensive. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I mean, it sounds to me, too, like it's going to make grapplers even more disgusting. Like, not only do you have to guess, but you can guess right and block and still get guard crushed. Like,
Yeah.
ugh. Yeah, it'll be interesting. So anyway, so yeah, this is just kind of a little fun experiment I thought we'd do. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. And yeah, I'll upload this to YouTube later. And so for those of you watching there, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think 15 will be. If there's any validity to any of this leaks, these leaks that keep coming out. Because I do hear similar things. I have seen pictures of what the roster is going to be, and it's very similar to this list that I'm having now in front of me. So, so yeah, tell me what you think, and thanks for watching.